I am done with the Democratic Party. You guys are psychotic.
Oh no, keep going. Do your song. Do your song. You're so brave.
I'm so beautiful.
You're so brave. She started saying, haha, your homie dead. For saying this.
Homie dead. Homie dead. Fuck your homie dead. Fuck your homie dead. He got shot in the head. Your homie dead.
For saying this.
Homie dead.
Yeah. Disgusting.
I've been a Democrat my entire life. I'm 43 years old, and I've never been more humiliated and embarrassed to be part of something.
Just so you guys know, I'm fully religious too.
We know that you don't respect your father.
Well, I do, but Charlie Kirk is definitely not the morals I support or the religion I support, where you're just taught to love your neighbor,
Well, our
not hate your
religion
neighbor.
teaches respect.
Yeah,
This is not
love your
respect.
neighbor.
Okay. If you disagree, so this is loving your neighbor.
I'm not gonna love a man who doesn't even.
You don't have to. You're not loving your neighbor. You're not loving your neighbor.
You're right. I'm not judging. It is not my right to judge, but it is also not your right to judge either.
No, we're here protecting somebody. We're not here judging.
And we're not the ones.
If we were judging, we would be taking your paint can and dumping it on you, but we're not, are we? Because someone has to pay for
I paint all the time. It will, hopefully. If not, it's a price I gotta pay. Yeah, I am sorry. I did not mean to step on any of the flags. I will admit that. I am sorry. I don't think I did step on those. I only came over here.
Yeah, the paint covering the flags.
All my friends in Chapel Hill are going to be like, she's iconic.
Go girly pop.
Miss Chapel Hill. Miss education.
This young lady just assaulted me downstairs.
She was pushing people out of the way.
No, I'm more than happy to speak. Sorry, I'm more than happy to speak.
Okay.
Do you want to speak here?
Yeah, we'll speak on it.
If someone wants to move these flags, I don't necessarily want to get any paint on them.
You've already covered everything else in paint, so I don't.
I don't want to cover up the flag portion at all. Just the person on it. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Dude, I'm so glad I'm not you.
You want to move the signs? Or? Let me get this, because she did cover you in paint, and she did put her hands on you.
She did. She pushed me.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Are you guys happy?
Yeah.
Does this give you peace? I'm sorry. Does this give you peace to paint over somebody's memorial like this? So then why do it if it doesn't give you peace? If it doesn't give you a sense of...
This is exactly why this happened in the first place. What you guys are doing, you destroy things you don't agree with. That is why he was shot.
You guys are the most racist, hateful, bigoted, nasty group of people I've ever had to commingle with. And it's not all, just to be clear, but it's a majority of you guys. The left has lost their goddamn minds.
He lives as he dies. Promoting violence. Record all you want.
Well, are you? No, look at this shit. Check it out. Look at this shit.
Fuck reactive bullshit. Fuck Charlie Kirk. Fuck Charlie Kirk.
So forth. It's on the bullet case.
I have seen nothing but Democrats in the wake of this murder saying that it was awful.
You've seen nothing?
I have seen them
Literally nothing?
Elected Democrats, I have seen them saying nothing but it was horrific, that they condemn it, that they are sorry for his family, that this is an awful moment in the country. I've seen President Trump do nothing but say it was the Democrats' fault.
Can I just jump in here for a second?
Lulu, yes, go ahead.
I just want to read the words of someone who I think is very wise in the wake of 2019.
What I've witnessed over the last 72 hours has been an absolute disgrace. Disgrace.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay?
You guys want to sit here, you want to abort babies at 9 months, you want to leave the borders wide open. New York City is an absolute disgrace. You have no idea what's going on in Manhattan. It's disgusting. Disgusting. It's not even livable anymore. I can't wait to get out of here.
I think it's easy for people who are not a conservative, and I know not everybody at this table is a conservative, but Charlie Kirk was murdered because he talked about God, family, country. Those are views that people like Scott and I hold dearly. If Charlie Kirk, a private citizen, can be targeted for those views, it makes us all feel like we have a target on our back. So it's easy for people who have constant security, who are in high places and don't think they're ever going to be targeted, to speak like this. But to the average conservative like myself, this is a scary time because one of our own was taken out. And I think what people have to realize about left-wing violence is it's not some made-up fantasy. There are 3 court cases going on today for assassinations: Luigi Mangione, Ryan Ruth, and Tyler Robinson. What do all 3 have in common?
I mean, I mean,
there are lots of political trials for violence.
They're
all left-wing. Yes,
hold
but
on,
there's
hold on a
also,
second.
obviously, we went through, I mean, look, I actually think this whole debate of there's only there's right-wing, there's left-wing. We should all say, I don't know why it's so complicated to say political violence of any kind is wrong. Of course. But we have obviously had massive levels of political violence on the right. There's actually a Department of Justice actually suppressed an article about it.
Yeah, there's a DOJ deleted a study showing that domestic terrorists are most often right-wing. And here's what that study said. Since 1990, far-right extremists have committed far more ideologically motivated homicides than far-left or radical Islamist extremists, including 227 events that took more than 520 lives. In the same period, far-left extremists committed 42 ideologically motivated attacks that took 78 lives. Now, what you're saying about those 3 cases is important and relevant, that those things happened, but I think we need to not confuse the most recent for the most common. And
we have people that are getting set on fire in New York City subways, not once, but twice. The stores are being looted. People are being pushed in front of the trains. The streets are filled with piss and weed. And I swear to God, I hope New York City single-handedly flips the entire New York State red. Because I am done. I am done.
Are you actually going to let me talk for longer than 5 seconds?
Go ahead.
You keep interrupting me. Every time I try to actually explain my point and have a reasonable conversation with you, you cut me off. I was trying to explain, you cut me off, started talking about something completely different. You started bringing up random stats and random facts to try to make me look stupid. People like you want people.
Thank you. Thank you. Men, stay away from women like that. Stay away from women like that.
Reasonable and logical are not 2 words that belong in conversation with these lunatics on the left. And you heard Charlie Kirk. He said, stay away from women like that. And I have another clip. Actually, I got 2 clips. I got 2 clips from another woman that I will share with you at the end of this video. So stay tuned. Right now, I'm going to share this post here from a conservative, Trump-supporting and friend to late Charlie Kirk, Laura Loomer. And I'll paraphrase what's here shown on the screen. This ex-post from Laura Loomer addresses a conspiracy theory claiming Israel killed Charlie Kirk, for which she says has been debunked by evidence from the suspect Tyler Robinson's confession and text engraved bullets, aligning with a 2025 Al Jazeera report confirming his arrest after the Utah shooting. Her post highlights Turning Point USA staff facing harassment over this unproven narrative, with no peer-reviewed studies supporting such conspiracies, though ADL data from September 2025, or the Anti-Defamation League, notes over 10,000 ex-posts pushing the Israel killed Charlie Kirk false flag theory, reflecting a surge in online anti-Semitic rhetoric. And in Laura Loomer's defense of Israel and critique of leftist media influence on the shooter, challenges mainstream narratives of political violence, possibly suggesting a need for further critical analysis beyond initial media framing, all of which supported by NBC News' finding of no prior criminal record for Robinson, pointing to radicalization rather than a premeditated state involvement. But like I said earlier, I've got more that I want to share with you about all of that. So make sure you don't miss it and watch until the end. And trust me, it won't be any more of that deranged, woke, racist campus fatigue that we witnessed earlier as we watched alongside Doc Rich. So apologies, I guess. Sorry, not sorry. But as I mentioned yesterday, this is what I do. This is how I do it. And it's part of the conversation. It's part of how we tell the story, build this dialogue. And we're not going to sit here and pretend that these things aren't happening. We're not going to ignore the truth. No. But like I said, no more of that. It won't be that. But the young lady who confessed her departure from the Democrat Party, well, is very timely and very much welcome here. And it allows me to share more of this story with you, everybody. Everyone watching, all of you who have subscribed, subscriber counts growing tremendously. And it allows me to share this with great excitement and enthusiasm and confidence that we're moving towards the right direction. And hey, listen up, everybody. Folks, listen, I am thrilled to share some incredible news with you. And we're seeing a seismic shift in the political landscape. And it's all thanks to people like the young woman who recently announced she's leaving the Democrat Party. Her bold move is just one of many, and it's a powerful sign that Americans are waking up and moving in the right direction. The tragic assassination of Charlie Kirk has exposed the deep flaws in the Democrat Party's rhetoric and actions, sparking a massive exodus of voters who are fed up with their moral decay. Data's pouring in. Thousands of new GOP registrations in states like Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Arizona, with Democrats switching to Republican at unprecedented rates. And this isn't just a trend, it's a realignment. And folks, this surge is only accelerating. And since the heartbreaking event that took place on September 10th, and since then, we've seen even more momentum building. For instance, Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's own organization, has reported over 52,000 new chapter requests from young conservatives. That's a whopping 10,000% increase, showing how his legacy is firing up the next generation. In Florida alone, GOP registrations have tripled in the days following, while nationwide Republicans have netted around 360,000 more registered voters than Democrats across 30 states since the start of the year, with huge gains in key battlegrounds like Pennsylvania, Nevada, and New Jersey. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but, or, you know, like a broken record, just repeating myself here, but I will say it again. This isn't just a trend. It's a realignment. People are choosing decency, civil discourse, and a vision for a stronger America. And I'm excited to dive deeper into this story and others with you over the course of future videos here on the channel, here on YouTube, and over at Better America, because it's proof that together we're building a brighter, more unified future, a greater America. And there's a link down below in the description, and we look forward to you joining us. And now let me see just a quick show of hands. How many of you folks out there, show of hands, thumbs up, like button, if you agree that the left is cooked. The left's cooked, right? You bet they are. The left is absolutely cooked. And Jimmy Kimmel just lit the freaking match. Presumably, of course. I mean, since Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA's fearless leader, a young dad, a loving husband, a Trump ally, gets assassinated a week ago at a Utah college event. And now we all know a 22-year-old named Tyler Robinson snipes him from 200 yards out. He even admits it, allegedly. And this is straight up political murder. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, even if the legacy mainstream don't want to admit it. And prosecutors say Robinson was radicalized by hard left pro-LGBTQ views, texting his roommate about hating Charlie Kirk's supposed hatred. Yeah, can't make this stuff up, folks. He hated his hatred. And this trans-loving fairy gets turned in by his own family after he confessed. And let's make it abundantly clear. There are no MAGA ties. Zero. This left-wing violence, this was only left-wing violence, plain and simple, and sadly part of a scary wave of attacks on conservatives. And now, even Jimmy Kimmel on ABC, we bring him in to the mix here, folks. You didn't think we were going to gloss over that, did you? Now enters Jimmy Kimmel on ABC, a network funded by your tax dollars with a legal duty to tell the truth. But instead, Jimmy Kimmel goes on air and straight up lies, saying that Robinson was a MAGA guy, basically blaming Charlie Kirk for his own death. A new low. However, how unbelievably and absolutely sick and disgusting and untrue it is, I must digress and not get too carried away here, because he accuses, I gotta stick to Jimmy Kimmel here. So then he accuses conservatives of covering up to score points. Are you freaking kidding me? These are disgusting, intentional lies, the kind that fueled the exact violence that killed Charlie Kirk, and these leftists are celebrating online. And let me know if you guys agree with me. You may not. I don't expect you guys to agree with me all the time, because this is infuriating, to me at least. Benny Johnson called it out on X by saying, vicious, dehumanizing lies like Jimmy Kimmel's are why we're in this mess. Eric Doherty doubled down and said Jimmy Kimmel is vile. And the internet's losing it as a result. And maybe you don't agree with me, but maybe you agree with Benny Johnson. Maybe you agree with Eric Doherty. Let me know who you agree with. There are posts with millions of views screaming for Kimmel's head, and maybe you're not on X. Maybe you're on Facebook, but I know you're seeing it somewhere. You have to be today, because it is going viral. Trending hashtags like hashtag Fire Kimmel is everywhere, and it's not just conservatives either. And this is why the left is cooked, folks. Democrats are about to become extinct. a defunct party. Everyone's fed up with the gaslighting. And here's the kicker. But here's the kicker, folks. ABC's broadcast license could get yanked as a result. Benny has already reached out to the FCC and Chairman Brendan Carr, who's not playing around about this. And Carr called Kimmel's lies truly sick and said the FCC's got a strong case to revoke ABC's license if they don't make Kimmel apologize on air and fix this. That's billions of dollars on the line for Disney, already bleeding from their woke disasters. And Brendan Carr's basically telling ABC to either step up or you're done. But I can't wait. I can't wait to bring you the clip and the reaction to Jimmy Kimmel eating crow, but it would be better if he were canceled and his show yanked off the air entirely. Yeah. Who's with me on this one? Am I alone on this one? Let me know in the comments. Because honestly, the left's been dodging accountability forever, it seems. But not this time. Maybe not this time. Maybe this time they actually get, they're held responsible. Accountability is what we're after here. At the end of the day, this is why they're toast. They cry MAGA violence every chance they get, but when their own radical kills someone like Charlie Kirk, they lie to cover it up, or at least they try to. It's hypocrisy on steroids, folks, and people are done. They're fed up. But just imagine Jimmy Kimmel on your screen groveling with an apology, or ABC losing their license. You remember when The View and Sonny Hostin and them had to read their legal notices and apologize? This could be the moment that we take down their propaganda machine, and it's going to be so sweet. The left's lies are crumbling. Share this video. Get the word out. And now here's those last two clips I told you guys about. Watch, listen, and let me know what you all think.
Allegedly. It isn't allegedly that this is his family members telling me these details, but it is definitely, allegedly what they say until we can hear both sides. Lance, they told us, went to live with his relatives, so no longer in the house with his mother and father. Again, allegedly. His parents kicked him out junior year of high school because he was problematic. He allegedly has a lot of issues with drinking. That Christmas, approximately 3 years ago, he almost overdosed. He graduates high school, and then essentially the extended family says, we can't keep you in our home because of his behavior. Just this past Easter Sunday, they are telling me that he showed up on drugs, and he was spouting out of his mouth about political stuff. And at this point, they felt that he could not be around children. Lance's family is telling me that they are not buying the current story and that they feel that more people are involved. He turned 22, they told me, back in August, and that he was, as I said, very into this dark web stuff. They told us that Tyler and him had been living together for at least a year, that they had not met Tyler, despite the fact that Lance had wanted to foster that meeting, that the two of them, this couple, Tyler and Lance, were living in that townhome that is owned by Lance's family, and that Tyler was paying rent to Lance. And Lance then, of course, was forwarding that payment to them. People are saying, who live in the neighborhood, that they noticed some unusual traffic. And this individual family member said to me, yup, we are hearing the exact same thing, that they would prod that narrative further. But there was some unusual traffic, a lot of cars that were seen outside leading up to the shooting, in the days before the shooting or the week before this shooting. I'll straighten out that timeline for you and get real specific, because I will pin down when exactly this was happening. But leading up to the shooting, that there were unusual traffic in the driveway where Tyler Robinson and Lance lived. cars that were not recognized in the neighborhood. This was not a couple that hosted people. It wasn't like they were expecting them to have parties. And so other people are saying that is something that struck them as odd. But there were apparently lots of different license plates, and it therefore caused a little neighborhood kerfluffle because other people were not able to park their cars because there were so many people that were at this house. Unusual traffic. Again, if I don't feel good about what we're hearing, okay, and Lance Twiggs' family doesn't feel good about what we're hearing, there's more people involved. To those of you who think that you are going to replace Charlie Kirk, okay? Kings are born. You don't just get to depose and tell us that we're going to follow this individual, okay? I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. You put a shill in Charlie Kirk's chair, in Charlie Kirk's company, and you try to tell us to follow that individual, I will be an enemy of you. There will be nothing that can stop me. Okay? And I want you guys to understand, this is not a threat. This is a promise. There will be nothing that can stop me. I will release every single text message. So to those of you who are trying that, I'm seeing the messages. I am telling you to back off right now. Like right now. Don't do it. Okay? Don't you think about it. I know exactly who you are. I know exactly who you were that were exerting pressure. Don't you pretend to be noble now and say nice things about Charlie Kirk and think you're going to slide into his chair. Okay? Over my dead body, which I'm sure can be arranged.
And if you are interested in saving money, specifically on your Medicare, then make sure you give our friends at Chapter a call. And I want you guys to really, really pay attention here because it's come to my attention that most seniors are not on the best Medicare plan. They're either overpaying for the same coverage they could get elsewhere, or they don't have the coverage they need in an emergency. Chapter can review your options in under 20 minutes. It's fast, it's simple, it's easy, and it's free. If you're already on the best possible plan, they'll tell you they're unbiased and they're purely here to help folks, seniors, save money on healthcare, on average $1,100. And if you're not on the right plan, they'll help you switch, even if it's to a plan that pays them nothing. Again, unbiased, folks. This is unique and unlike any other Medicare provider out there. And this is exactly why we love Chapter so much, because they're literally just trying to help people. Chapter works for you, not big insurance or the government. And there's no pressure, just honest, free advice from professionals who know Medicare inside and out.